All right, let's just jump right in. We've all heard the mantra, right? To be smarter, to be faster, you need more. More data, bigger servers, these massive, sprawling lakes of information. But what if that's completely backwards? What if the real secret to a more intelligent future isn't sitting in a server farm, but is actually hidden deep beneath our feet on a forest floor? Today, we're going to explore a pretty radical idea that we have a lot more to learn about data from ancient fungi than from our most advanced technology. Just think about it. There's a vast intelligence all around us, an ancient network that's been processing information, allocating resources, and literally sustaining entire ecosystems for over 400 million years. And it does all this silently, with no central command center. This intelligence doesn't hoard information, it makes sure it flows. And the craziest part? It's completely invisible to the naked eye. So let's start by digging up this secret. We're going underground into the living soil to really understand a system that, frankly, puts our most advanced digital networks to shame. What we're talking about is the mycorrhizal network. Some people have cleverly called it the Wood Wide Web. And that's exactly what it is, a subterranean internet made of these tiny fungal threads, or mycelium, that link the root systems of nearly every plant and tree in the forest. Now, this isn't just some passive plumbing. Oh no. It is a dynamic, living marketplace where nutrients, water, and even chemical warning signals are constantly being exchanged for the collective good of the entire forest. You know, what's so fascinating is just how different this system is from ours. Its intelligence is emergent. It just arises from countless small, local interactions, not from some CEO tree telling everyone what to do. The entire system is built on this principle of constant symbiotic exchange, not static accumulation. Resources are shared to strengthen the whole, which in turn makes the entire ecosystem unbelievably resilient. Okay, now let's pivot. Let's leave that vibrant, living forest floor and come back to our digital world. Because here, we operate under a totally different philosophy, one you could call the tyranny of volume. And the contrast is, well, it's pretty stark, isn't it? The living network is all about exchange, but we're obsessed with accumulation. It's about flow, but we build for static storage. It's about symbiosis, but we operate in silos. The forest understands that wisdom comes from connection. We've convinced ourselves it comes from sheer volume. It's like we've built these digital fortresses when we should have been cultivating living gardens all along. And that's the hard truth. Our so-called data lakes are often just stagnant ponds. They're information graveyards where data goes to die, locked away, unused, and totally disconnected from the real-time needs of the organization. We've become digital hoarders, measuring our success in terabytes instead of in actual game-changing insights. And this forces us to ask a really provocative question, especially for those of you leading innovative companies. Have we been chasing the wrong thing this whole time? Is this relentless pursuit of big data actually making us less agile, less intelligent, and less resilient? So if the old way is an information graveyard, how do we build a living system? Well, it all starts with a simple shift in perspective. We have to stop seeing data as a dead resource to be stored and start seeing it as the lifeblood of the organization, as sap. Let's give this idea a name: informational sap flow. Imagine your organization's data not as a giant static pool, but as a circulatory system. You've got these small, potent packets of information flowing continuously, nourishing every team and every decision in real time. This isn't about massive volume. It's about velocity, relevance, and pinpoint delivery. So how do we actually make this happen? Well, first, you map the vital exchanges. Just like a botanist, you trace where the critical information needs to flow. Then you design lightweight algorithms. Now, these aren't giant processing engines. Think of them more like nimble messengers whose only job is to get the right little piece of info to the right person right now. From there, you connect everyone and everything in real time, creating the perfect conditions for collective intelligence to just emerge instead of trying to force it from the top down. And the payoff here is just incredibly clear. When we switch our focus from maximizing volume to maximizing flow, something amazing happens. We find that smaller, cleaner, more relevant sets of data generate exponentially more value simply because they're always moving with purpose. It's really about data minimalism for maximum impact. But look, this isn't just some tech upgrade. Adopting this kind of philosophy fundamentally transforms the DNA of a company. It changes how people talk to each other, how they collaborate, and even how they feel about showing up to work. And the benefits go way beyond just faster database queries. When information flows freely like this, it just naturally breaks down silos and encourages real human cooperation. People feel more connected, more empowered, and that has a huge impact on well-being at work. The whole organization becomes more like that forest, incredibly resilient and adaptable, because intelligence is everywhere, not locked in one place. Power becomes more fluid, and brilliant ideas can spring up from anywhere, not just from the C-suite. And what you're seeing here is nothing short of a revolution in how power works. We move away from that rigid top-down command structure and those isolated competitive departments. Instead, power and influence are distributed all throughout the network. It's a radical democratization of insight. In this kind of symbiotic organization, data finally stops being a political tool that departments hoard for control. It becomes what it was always meant to be: a shared resource that fuels collective wisdom, builds trust, and unites everyone around a common purpose. So as we wrap up, let's zoom out, because this isn't just a debate about data architecture. This is a fundamental choice about the kind of intelligence we actually want to build for our future. This quote really gets to the heart of it all. For millions of years, living systems have proven that real strength, real wisdom, it comes from effective sharing, not from selfish hoarding. And this isn't just a law of nature, it's a law of human history. The greatest civilizations thrived because of their trade routes and networks of exchange, because of flow, not just because they had the biggest granaries. So ultimately, we're at a crossroads. Do we continue down this path of quantitative obsession and technical accumulation, a world dominated by algorithms? Or do we choose to build a future that's inspired by the natural flow of living systems, one that actually elevates human intuition and our collective wisdom? And so I'll leave you with this final thought. As the leaders, the thinkers, the innovators, the people actually building our digital world, we are the architects of this new ecology. So what is our responsibility? Is it just to build bigger and bigger warehouses for data? Or is it to cultivate a digital environment that is truly living, truly symbiotic, and truly wise? The choice is ours.